Okay, here we go. My dad, he was a father of 3, a grandfather to 10, a husband of 47 years. He had an infectious personality, which people just gravitated to. It would irritate us kids, and especially my mom, whenever we went to town. We would always run into people that we knew, and no matter who it was, he would always stop and chew the fat with them. Being Dave's son had both advantages and disadvantages. I used to find it extremely unfair when he would ask me about how I did on a test that I had just taken on Friday. And my response was always, good, I think. But I won't know until Monday. He would respond, actually, I talked to your teacher and they graded it for me early. Your butt's grounded. As you can imagine, I went to my room in extreme protest, and how can you preemptively ground your son? I'll never figure that one out. Sometimes in life, if you're really lucky, you're able to find that one thing that you're truly good at. Some search their entire lives and never find it. My dad was one of the lucky ones and found his calling early in life. Being a teacher is what my dad was built to do. He was not only a teacher, but he was one of those teachers that truly cared about his students. He was just built for it. His ability to communicate, to read people, and to make things up when you truly didn't know the answer made him one of the best teachers of his time. Looking out at a lot of you here and the dozens of people that have messaged us or called us over the past week were made up of his ex-students. Nothing made my dad happier than to run into one of his old students and have them tell him a story about how he affected their lives and how much they enjoyed him as a teacher. Honestly, nothing made him happier. Even now, 15 years after he retired, I still have people that come up to me asking if I was his son and that they wouldn't have graduated if it wasn't for my dad and how he had affected their life. In honesty, it honestly made me proud to hear their stories, and he would always be extremely pumped when I would report back to him about the encounter. Coaching, if I had to pick my dad's second passion, it would have to be coaching. Our walls at home were lined with his coaching awards. He could take a group of kids that had only won 1 game in 2 seasons and coach them up to an undefeated season by the end of the next year. He just had a way with the kids, and I can't tell you how many days were spent watching my dad and the rest of the coaching staff yelling at the TV on Sunday nights while watching game film. That same habit followed him throughout the years, and my mom can attest to anyone that has ever watched a Seahawks game with him, which he would yell at the screen as if the players could hear him from the sidelines. I do have to say that I'm beyond excited that my dad finally got to see his beloved Seahawks win a Super Bowl. We watched for years and years and years for it to happen, but he was a loyal fan to his team to the extreme. He even turned his bathroom into a Seahawks shrine. My dad also had some of the best friends a guy could ever ask for. He had a ton of friends, but only a few he called his family. I too grew up with them, and my dad loved the outdoors, and so did his friends. I owe my dad a lifetime debt for surrounding me with him and his buddies in the fields in the Indian Reservation, in the duck blind in Toppenish, and or the fields up in the Mattawa goose hunting. I know that my dad had a passion for hunting and fishing, and his friends had some of the best adventures, and he loved every minute of it. One of my favorite stories, him and Lance were up deer hunting, and he had hopped in his truck and he was trying to find Lance. And anyways, my dad wasn't known for hiking, so he had driven his truck to the top of the hill and glassing for Lance. But when he got to the top of the hill, he threw it in what he thought was park. As he jumped out, he kind of hooked a coat on the seat deal on the side. Anyways, the truck was actually in neutral, so it started to roll forward with him. So he automatically panicked and he's trying to jerk himself away so he didn't go down over the hill with the thing. Finally broke himself free, got himself up, dusted up, and he looks, and this truck literally took off down the hill, went down to the bottom, jumped off of the next hill, and then it disappeared. He was waiting for the big plume of smoke, but nothing happened. So he literally just, anything he could do, he just walked after the truck. And he got down to the bottom of that hill and over the next, and the truck wasn't there. So he kept walking and walking and walking. Finally, about a half mile later, he found the truck in the middle of the field. He had to actually follow the path through the weeds that the truck made, but here it was in neutral, not a dent, scratch, anything on it. Jumped in it, well, I'm not going to tell anybody this story, and went and found my house. It was always something that he and I shared well into my adult life, and I hope I can maintain those same friendships with the guys that helped me learn everything I know about being a sportsman. I know my dad cherishes friendships, and nothing was more important to him. Throughout the years, as my dad struggled with some of his health issues, I always admired his strength and his attitude. I used to often think that I could never make it through everything he went through and endured. When I would visit, the nursing staff and doctors used to tell me that they had never met a more positive person, and even during intense situations, he would break the tension with comedy, which made everyone more at ease. Making people laugh was so ingrained in his personality that even in a delirium state after his heart surgery, where he was barely conscious for more than a few seconds at a time, the nurses had come into the room and asked him how he felt. He replied, "With my fingers." The nurse then asked him where he was from, and he replied, "From my mother." Keep in mind, he was barely conscious, so to his core. David A. Colby lived an awesome life. He was loved and respected by many. He raised 3 awesome children and spoiled the crap out of the 10 grandchildren, and many people always ask what determines if you are a success in life. And to me, my dad was one of the richest people in the world. He will be sorely missed, but we must remember that he's in a better place. And even though we will all miss him and miss his jokes, his dedication to his grandkids, and his unrelenting optimism, we know that God's plan supersedes our plan, and we will all see him again someday.